Genesis 26. And there was a famine in the land beside the first famine that was in the days of Abraham. And Isaac went unto Abimelech, king of the Philistines, unto Gerar. And Jehovah appeared unto him and said, Go not, go not down into Egypt and dwell in the lands which I shall tell thee of. Shall journey in this land, and I will be with thee, and will bless thee, for unto thee and unto thy seed I will give all these lands, and I will establish the oath which I swore unto Abraham thy father, and I will multiply thy seed as the stars of heavens, and will give unto thy seeds all these lands, and in thy seeds shall all the nations of the earth be blessed, because that Abraham obeyed my voice and kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes, and my laws. And Isaac dwelt in Gerar, and the men of the place asked him of his wife, and he said, She is my sister, for he feared to say, My wife, lest shall he, the man of the place should kill me for Rebekah, because she was fair to look upon. And it came to pass, when he had been there a long time, that Abimelech, king of the Philistines, looked out at the widow at the looked out at a window and saw, and behold, Isaac was sporting with Rebekah his wife. And Abimelech called Isaac and said, Behold, of a surety she is thy wife, and how sayest thou, She is my sister? And Isaac said unto him, Because I said, Lest I die because of her. And Abimelech said, What is this thou hast done unto us? One of the people might easily have land with thy wife, and thou wouldest have brought guiltiness upon us. And Abimelech charged all the people, saying, He that toucheth this man or his wife shall surely be put to death. And Isaac sowed in that land, and found in the same year 100-fold, and Jehovah blessed him. And the man waxed great, and grew more and more, until he became very great, and he had possessions of flocks and possessions of herds, and a great household. And the Philistines envied him. Now all the wells which his father's servants have digged in the days of Abraham his father, the Philistines have stopped and filled with earth. And Abimelech said unto Isaac, Go from us, for thou art much mightier than us. And Isaac departed thence, and encamped in the valley of Gerar, and dwelt there. And Isaac digged again the wells of water, which they have digged in the days of Abraham his father, for the Philistines had stopped them after the death of Abraham, and he called their names after the names by which his father had called them. And Isaac's servants digged in the valley, and found there a well of springing water. And the herdmen of Gerar strove with Isaac's herdmen, saying, The water is ours. And he called the name of the well Esuk, because they contented with him. And they digged another well, and they strove for that also, and he called the name of it Sitnah. And he removed from thence, and digged another well, and for that they strove not, and he called the name of it Rehoboth. And he said, For now Jehovah hath made room for us, and we shall be fruitful in the land. And he went up from thence to Beersheba, and Jehovah appeared unto him the same night, and said, I am the God of Abraham thy father. Fear not, for I am with thee, and will bless thee, and multiply thy seed for my servant Abraham's sake. And he built an altar there, and called upon the name of Jehovah, and pitched his tent there. And there Isaac's servants digged the well. Then Abimelech went to him from Gerar, and Ahasudah, his friend, and Philco, the captain of his host. And Isaac said unto them, Wherefore are ye come unto me, seeing ye hate me, and have sent me away from you? And they said, We saw plainly that Jehovah was with thee. And we said, Let there now be an oath betwixt us, even betwixt us and thee, and let us make a covenant with thee, that thou wilt do us no hurt, as we have not touched thee, and as we have done unto thee nothing but good, and have sent thee away in peace. Thou art now the blessed of Jehovah. And he made them a feast, and they did eat and drink. And they rose up at betimes in the morning, and sworn one to another. And Isaac sent them away, and they departed from him in peace. And it came to pass the same day that Isaac's servants came and told him concerning the wells which they have digged, and said unto him, We have found water. And he said, and he called it Sheba. Therefore the name of the city is Beersheba unto this day. And when Esau was 40 years old, he took to his wife Judah, and daughter of Beri the Hittite, and Basemath, the daughter of Elon the Hittites, and they were a grief of mine unto Isaac and to Rebekah. Genesis 26 is a repeat and refined chapter. Isaac lives inside his father's Abraham's patterns. Same famine, same Geron, same Amalek's title, same fear-driven life, same fear-driven lie, yet God still keeps the covenant steady. The chapter teaches how God promise survives human weakness, and it frames Isaac's life around three themes: presence, I will be with thee; fear and wells. Famine in the first command, don't run to Egypt, stay where God assigns. Genesis 26 verse 1 through 6. A famine hits and Isaac's instinct will be the logical one: go to Egypt, economy, shelter, grain supply. But God says, go not down into Egypt, dwell in the land, I will be with thee and I will bless thee. This is a covenant discipleship. Security comes from the obedience to God's direction, not from the world's safest options. God also repeats the Abrahamic covenant almost word for word: land, seeds as stars, blessing to all nations, and then the striking line: because Abraham obeyed commandments, status, and laws. That doesn't mean Abraham had the full Masonic law. It means Abraham lived in a covenant fidelity, trusting God's voice, walking in God's ways, and Isaac is inheriting the blessings that flows from the covenant relationship. What God is saying: my promise remains and my presence is your safety. Don't flee into Egypt's solutions where I assigned you to stand. Isaac repeats the failure. Fear makes him lie about Rebekah. Genesis 26 verse 7 through 11. Isaac says, just like Abraham, she is my sister, for he feared. Genesis is brutally honest. Covenant family passes down not only faith but fear patterns. Isaac is not a villain. He is a son still carrying his father's shadow. Amalek catches him sporting with a Rebekah and rebukes him. What is this house done unto us? Again, a pagan king shows moral clarity. Isaac's lie could have caused adultery and brought guilt on the people. Then Amalek issues protection. He that toucheth shall surely be put to death. So even in Isaac's compromised moment, God uses outsiders to preserve righteousness and protect the covenant marriage. What God is saying: fear will make you compromise, but I will still guard the covenant, and I will expose your fear so you can grow out of it. Blessings in the hostile soil. Isaac reaps 100-fold during famine. Genesis 26 verse 12 through 14. Isaac shows in the famine land and gets an absurd yield, 100-fold, and Jehovah blessed him. This is not farm technique, it's a sign. Blessing is not bound to circumstances, but blessings attracts envy. The Philistines envied him. Genesis is teaching a sober reality. God favors can provoke social pressure. Not everyone celebrates what God does in you. What God is saying: I can prosper you in scarcity, but understand favor draws opposition. Stay steady. The well, spiritual geographic of conflict, hostility, room. The Philistines stopped the wells Abraham's servants dug, filled with earth. Wells in Genesis aren't just plumbing; they're life, inheritance, continuity, and sometimes contest blessings. Stop wells is symbolic welfare. Erased Abraham's footprints, choked off future fruitfulness. Isaac redigs them and renames them with his father's names an act of covenant memory. We're not starting over. God promise continues. Then comes the three wells with three names that map a spiritual journey. Esuk equals contention. They contended with him. Sinah equals hostility, accusations. They strove from that also. Rehoboth equals broad places / rooms, for now Jehovah hath made room for us. Isaac's method is not notable. He doesn't escalate into bloodshed. He moves, digs again, keeps working, keeps trusting. This is not cowardice. It's a particular kind of strength, non-violent perseverance. What God is saying: don't confuse blessings with ease. Sometimes you walk through contention and hostility before I bring you into room. Keep digging, keep moving forward without losing your soul. Beersheba. God meets Isaac in fear and anchors him in worship. Genesis 26, verse 23 to 25. At Beersheba, God appears. Fear not, for I am with thee. That the heart of Isaac's story is Isaac's recurring problem is fear. God recurring answers presence. Isaac responds in three acts: altar, worship, tent, settled life with God at the center. Well, practical provision. It is the Genesis rhythm, worship, dwelling, provision. Well, God is saying the cure for fear isn't perfect control. It's my presence. Build your life around worship and I will sustain you. The covenant with Amalek. Your enemies eventually recognize God's with you. Genesis 26, verse 26 through 33. Amalek returns and says the key 9. We saw plainly that Jehovah was with thee, that Genesis 12 is coming true again. Abraham's family is becoming a visible sign among the nations. Isaac's question is honest. Why come, seeing ye hate me, sent me away? They want peace because they can't deny God's favor. Isaac makes a feast and an oath is made. Then the well is found the same day. Genesis is linking peace and provision. Then the well's name is Sheba, ties to Beersheba, wells of the oath /7, reinforcing that God's covenant's faithfulness is being marked geographically. What God is saying, if you don't retaliate like the world, I can turn conflict into covenant peace, and I can confirm peace with provision. Esau's marriage, grief of mine. Covenant companionship matters. Genesis 26, verse 34 to 35. Esau marries Hittite woman and becomes a grief of mine unto Isaac and to Rebecca. This is not ethnic prejudice, it's covenant conflict. In Genesis, marriage is not just romance, it's an alignment of worship and destiny. Esau chooses show he does not weigh the covenant the way his parents do. This sets up the crisis of blessings in Genesis 27. What God is saying, your closest union shapes your spiritual directions. Covenant life can't be sustained if the household is joined to what opposite covenant faith. The main message of Genesis 26 in one sentence. God calls Isaac to stay in the land and promises presence, exposes Isaac's inherent fear and protects his marriage anyway, blesses him supernaturally in famine, lead him through contention and hostility, into rooms through persevering nonviolent faith, because outsiders to recognize God's favor and make peace, and end by showing Esau's marriage as a warning that covenant inheritance can be despised through misaligned life choices. Genesis 26.